What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy Willie Does Wrestling back at it again with a brand new video. And in this video, y'all, I'm going to give you my thoughts on the World Heavyweight Championship that Triple H revealed last night on Monday Night Raw. And the reason why I'm making this video is specifically because this is more of a fantasy booking, more of a how I would run things if I was doing the World Heavyweight Championship, if I had to choose who I would win the World Heavyweight Championship and who I would have contest for that championship, especially leading in to Night of Champions. So obviously, if you didn't watch the show last night, Triple H came out last night, essentially said Roman Reigns never defends the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, so you know what? He can fucking keep it. He will be drafted to either Raw or SmackDown, and he's going to stay there. So whatever brand does not have Roman Reigns, guess what? You're going to have this new World Heavyweight Championship. And May 27th at Night of Champions, we're going to crown our first World Heavyweight Champion. And my thoughts on this title is I personally love the fact that the World Heavyweight Championship's back. I like the new design, even though I would honestly rather them bring back the old World Heavyweight Championship, the WCW and like retro WWE type World Heavyweight title. But I like the new design. If you watch my video last night, my brother walked in and said actually he thinks that this design was better than the World Heavyweight Championship back in the day. That might be a bit of a controversial opinion. However, I do actually kind of agree with that. I like a bit of variety in the titles. I'm glad that it's not like a fucking, like a different color of the old, like the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship. I think that's a very, very big plus. So essentially we're getting this new championship, even though honestly I would have rathered them just vacate the WWE title, because what does that mean for the Universal title? I mean, there are reports that Triple H really does not like the Universal title, so I wouldn't be surprised if after, let's say, Roman defends at Night of Champions, he reaches 1,000 days, as Universal Champion, he's gonna retire the belt, and he's probably just going to keep the WWE Championship, or they're going to merge the two into one, essentially getting rid of the Universal title lineage. I would not be too surprised about that. But I mean, I'm not really complaining that we're getting a new World Heavyweight Championship. Gives Raw or SmackDown, I mean, there are reports that Roman's going to stay on SmackDown, so it gives Raw a world champion there, so that way it feels like both shows are somewhat watchable, kind of back in 2016 when they made the Universal Championship. So I have no real complaints. A lot of people on Twitter really seem to have a bit of mixed feelings about this championship, considering the fact that people are like, oh, it was only made because Roman's fucking unbeatable and all that fucking bullshit, and a lot of people are making memes about the belt already, but in this video, I'm going to essentially say how I'm going to book the World Heavyweight Championship, or how I would book the World Heavyweight Championship if I'm running the show, and you guys can give your opinions down in the comments. Obviously, heading into Night of Champions, I think after the draft, I would have a mini tournament, let's say an 8-man tournament, or like a title eliminator, have you pull the Tony Khan, get tournaments out of the ass, you know what I mean? I would say 8 people. 8 people are good enough, 8 of your best talents on Raw, and put them in a tournament and have them fight for the right to advance in the tournament. Obviously, have the finals of the tournament be for the belt, have it be a one-on-one affair. And there are a few names that come into mind that I think that I honestly wouldn't complain if they became the first World Heavyweight Champion. One is Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins is my best pick to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Finn Balor has been doing great as part of the Judgment Day, and there were reports as well that Triple H really sees a lot of value in Finn. and would want to see him as world champion. LA Knight's also a very good one, but I think Triple H is probably going to save him for maybe winning Money in the Bank, and then he cashes in on one of the titles. Bobby Lashley is a very good one. I think maybe him being in the tournament, maybe going to the finals, because I really don't see him winning the U.S. title. At Backlash, Drew McIntyre, whenever he gets his fucking contract situation all figured out, I think he would be very, very good to be a part of this tournament. Let's say, there's Damian Priest. You could put him in there. You could also have people that can easily get eliminated in round 1 of the tournament. Let's say we put fucking Chad Gable in there. He gets eliminated round 1. So that's 7. And one more. Put fucking Bronson Reed. There you go. That's the 8-man tournament. And I think in the finals of the tournament, I would put, a lot of people really seem to want this match to be for the first match of the World Heavyweight Championship. I think in the finals at Night of Champions, you have Seth Rollins and Finn Balor fight, and I would not fucking complain who wins the belt, but honestly, I think it's Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins deserves another world title reign. He's over. He's great. He's a full-timer. I think he would be a great champion, whether or not he wins or loses against Omos. But I don't really see him losing against Omos, if I'm being quite honest. And, as long as the World Heavyweight Champion is actually full-time, please don't fucking put the title back on Brock Lesnar. Don't make people like fucking Roman go on Raw just because he can and fucking win the belt. I don't fuck that. You could even put Solo Sikoa in that fucking tournament. Let's say if Solo goes on Raw, put him in that fucking tournament. You also put KO or Sammy in there. But I mean, that's what I would probably do. I would probably have a tournament to crown the first World Heavyweight Champion. But I mean, I don't mind the fact that we're getting another world title in WWE as long as they merge the WWE and Universal titles into one after Night of Champions. Otherwise, I think it would make no sense having 3 world titles in the WWE. But I mean, I guess Triple H, a lot of people are like, well, why did he make another title and not have Roman vacate either the WWE or the Universal title? I think he booked himself into a corner because it's like Roman's character. Do you really see them, like someone like Adam Pearce being like, okay, Roman, hand it over, one of the fucking belts? I wouldn't see it. I wouldn't see him be forced to fucking do shit like that. I don't think much people would really agree with that either. So it's like Triple H was probably booked himself into a fucking corner. Vince McMahon booked himself into a corner and was like, well, okay, let's make a new world title belt, and then we'll merge the WWE and the Universal titles into one. You get this new World Heavyweight Championship. A lot of people wanted to see a modified big gold anyway. There you go. So I think it's actually pretty decent that we're getting this new belt. I mean, I don't think it's that bad. I think fans will genuinely love it, and as long as we get what we're promised, and that is a full-time world champion on the shows, I think actually WWE could improve from this. I know a lot of people are shitting on it. I even see people saying it looks like a ripoff of the AEW belt, which I think is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen. I've seen people share memes that Omos is going to win the belt. I've seen people share memes that Roman's going to be 3-belt reigns. But I don't know. I personally love it. Like, my reaction last night, I was so fucking happy that we're getting this new belt. And I think WWE can really benefit. But, yeah, that's really it for my thoughts on the World Heavyweight Championship. So, yeah, I would have a tournament, and I would have Seth Rollins be crowned the first ever World Heavyweight Champion. Let me know who you guys would want to see as the first ever World Champion. Put them down in the comments below, as well as your thoughts on the new World Heavyweight Championship. Be sure to tune in at 6 p.m. for myself and Dylan. We are going to do our Monday Night Raw review. So in case you want to know Dylan's thoughts on the belt, be sure to tune in to Willie Does Wrestling for that. Be sure to subscribe and like with the notifications on, because Friday and Monday, the WWE draft, myself and a couple of fellas, Dylan for sure, will do live reactions to the WWE draft, as well as I think sometime this week, maybe tomorrow, myself and Dylan will do a fantasy draft. And I think that would actually be pretty interesting. So anyways, guys, yeah, be sure to leave a like, be sure to subscribe, and turn those post notifications on. Until then, guys, this has been your boy Willie Does Wrestling. I'll see you in the next video. Be good, people, and peace.